Hello, everyone. Today we are going to explore Eon Reality's General Virtual College, a next generation learning platform designed to transform how we study, train, and build real world skills. With access to over 9,000 courses across high demand fields from technical skills, business development, and essential soft skills, the virtual campus gives learners a complete ecosystem for growth. And right here, we'll be able to explore our preferred courses under via jobs, or you can also explore it via the courses itself, right? So we have various type of courses such as construction, first responders, mining. Similarly, under the job sector itself, we will be able to explore various type of subjects. Now let's pick one of the topics here. For an example, let's say mining. All right. Now, once I go into this subject matter on mining, all right, you have various features here. Let's go down. All right. So you'll be able to see some overview, a synopsis of the topic, and we have different type of groups here. Right. So group A focuses on mine evacuation. There's another topic on underground firefighting. Similarly, for group B, you'll be able to see other courses, such as, for example, under the topic on heavy equipment operator competency. Group C on maintenance technician upskilling. So this is how our Eon General Virtual College is here to provide you with 9,000 over content across various job skill sector and also subject matter. On that note, we also have what we call the Eon Custom Virtual Campus, in which we will be able to customize a virtual campus specifically for your respective institution. For example, this is an ITI institution in Singapore where they focus on developing courses for technical education. So you'll be able to see an overview on what is this virtual campus. There's two type of learning tracking methodology here that is being implemented. We have hard skills and soft skills. For hard skills, we have lecture phase, assessment, all the way up to review. As for soft skills, we have theory, role play, and also measured feedback. And here you'll be able to see the courses that has been developed as part of the curriculum that has been provided by the respective college or institutions. Now let's pick one of the courses here. For example, electrician. Now before we go into the final experience, which is the XR experience itself, right? Now let's take a look at the lessons here. We have three different type of courses that were built right under the topic of electrician training here. So let's look at lesson number one, which we talks about under the foundation of electrical safety here. So if you see, there is an option here which says materials, and this is the material that was used to build this specific lesson. All right. So there's like a very long PDF document that was imported into our platform, and then we built these courses for them. Now there's a pre-assessment certification phase where all the students will have to partake in these competency checkup before they can go into the actual learning mode, right? So the two type of assessments here. There's stage one where you learn about the theoretical part of the assessment. There's stage two where you will have a conversational uh, interview with a brainy mentor. Now let's take a look at example of a first part of the assessment, right? So you have like five questions that will be tested based on your competency. What is the primary activity in this in the lesson about circuits, right? So users will have to provide the appropriate answer. Now, once I've completed five questions, right, it's going to analyze my answers and then it will progress me into the second part, which is three more customized questions. So the first part of the assessment is five questions. Its default will be the same for most of the end users. And the second part is when now it customizes. So if I would have provided correct answers, then the subsequent three questions would be an intermediate level. But if I provided incorrect answers, then the application would maintain the difficulty level at still at an easy stage, right? So this is how we will be able to do a self checkup on what's our competency level in terms of the specific subject matter. And this for this matter, it will be on technician. All right. So I have not passed stage one, so that wouldn't allow me to pursue to stage two. Now, what happens if you have passed your stage one? All right. So, for example, allow me to take you back to our assessment here. All right, so you can see here on the first part of foundational electrical safety, I have passed my first part. All right, I've scored 100%. You get an AI evaluation summary followed by all the questions and what are the answers that you have provided. Now based on the answers that you have provided at this part, right, you can go back to the course. Now you will be able to proceed with stage two to start the interview session with your brainy mentor. So very shortly, you will have your virtual assistant here.
What is
What
a
is the
key
key
OSHA
OSHA
element that
element that
directly
directly
governs
governs
electrical
electrical
safety
safety?
in general industry?
Well, it directly governs electrical safety in general industry. It covers requirements for wiring methods, electrical equipment, safe work practices, and also protection from electrical hazards.
Good recall of OSHA's scope in general industry. Try naming the exact standard number for precision. Your next question. How does OSHA 29 CFR 1910.33 guide lockout tagout procedures in electrical work?
Okay, so as you can see, all right, based on my answer, the my brainy mentor here will be able to now progress to a more challenging question. So this is how, all right, the brainy mentor works here as part of the second part of the assessment, all right. And then now, once I have, if I still need further assistance, I have an option where I'll be able to chat with an expert, which will also take me to another brainy mentor where I can ring Amina and ask any questions that I have about the topic. So very shortly, Amina will be here with me.
Hello, I am Amina, here to help you explore the Electrician Trade LX01 course. It blends safety, circuit theory, wiring, and renewable energy to build practical skills and critical thinking. Would you like a quick overview, or should I suggest a few starting points?
How about you start off with some overview on the topic on electrician training?
Overview first. Electrician training blends safety mastery, theory, and hands on practice to prepare for real world work.
Okay, so that's an example on how we can use our brainy expert, right, to interact. And now that we have understood how the virtual campus is, we start off with some theoretical assessment to test our competency. And then I had also had a stage two, whereby I had an interview with my brainy mentor. Now, when I'm fully equipped, I can now go into an XR experience where it gives me a more hands-on experience into the specific subject matter. Now, this is a example on foundation on electric safety. Then we have another course here as well, right, on anatomy of electrical circuits. Now I can select XR experience here, and then it will take me to XR library, and I'll be able to play these experience that talks about anatomy of electrical circuits. So this is how the learning design has been implemented for institutions whereby they have the virtual campus for them for students to go through a certain level of assessment before they go into the practical world where they will apply their learning into these XR on our immersive platform. So in this course here, all right, we have five different type of phases. The initial phase is the learning phase in which the user will be able to revise all these knowledge portals that have been generated into the lesson by the specific AI assistant. So there's a video to watch about inductors, capacitors, there's image references, also text references. Now, once I've completed this part, I can move on to the second part of the experience, which is what we call the engagement phase. In this engagement phase, I will be able to interact with my AI assistant, ask any questions, clarify any doubts, and I will get the response in real time. All right. And then we have the third part of the experience is what we call the assessment phase. Now, this assessment phase is very crucial because the first part we have learned from the AI assistant, second part we have engaged with the AI assistant. Now, in the third part of the lesson, right, this is where we are going to apply all the knowledge that we have learned by far. And then the fourth part of the experience, we have a skill simulation phase where the AI assistant will guide me on how I can apply the knowledge that I have studied by far into real world scenarios. And last but not least, it also provides me with an analysis report, a radial score on how I've been performing. And then I get a summary, a gist of my performance. And last but not least, a detailed report, something very comprehensive which identifies my gaps, and where I require additional focus and attention, and how much of knowledge retention has been attained. All these will be captured as part of this analysis report here for every student on their end. All right. So as you can see, there's an overview, there's a summary, there's also a detailed report. Students can go back to a specific experience. They can explore 3D assets like this. They'll be able to perform some simulations to explode and unexplode specific 3D models that has been added into this specific lesson. And on the for the subject matter who have built this experience, you have an analytics dashboard at the back end on the respective experience landing page where you will be able to monitor and track the progress of every individual users here. So you'll be able to see an overview on how they performed, all right, and then the assessment, what type of answers they provided, a detailed report which covers your student's name, student's ID, and also you will get all a radial score of how they have performed throughout the experience itself.